Hello everyone, Linda aka the Gamer Girl here today, and I went to somewhere near Homestead, Florida, and there is a store called Play It Again Retro Store that I've been to. I only go once every 6 months because it's really far from me, but it is definitely worth the trip. His inventory is crazy. He has so much boxed of a lot of systems and a lot of stuff that you have to go if you do live in Florida. He had a double player. I've never seen a boxed one before. But as you walk through, there is some loose systems. There's a bunch of Atari 2600s and some Sega Model 1s with some CDs on them. I have a Virtual Boy up there. He had some Model 2s. He had a Sega Saturn up there, a TurboGrafx 16. And he had a bunch of complete Time Crisis with the guns. I was looking at that for sure. He had a bunch of PlayStation 1s, the Slim, arcade stick right next to it. And then there's some Dreamcasts. Some actually really good stuff was here. And there was a couple plug-and-plays, which normally a lot of stores have. But he had some plug-and-plays that I've never seen that are actually out in the wild. He had some boxed loose controllers, everything. And then when you go to the side, you keep walking down to the right, there is Genesis loose, there is Genesis box, there is N64, there's Super Nintendo, there's a box 3DO right up top, and then you go to the left, and then there was a boxed Wii, there is the box Genesis and the box Master System, and below that was Sega CD with 32X. It looked like somebody was a collector and made their own cases and then sold them to him. And I found Night Trap. That was really funny to see. I had just bought Night Trap for PC for limited run games, so I'm waiting for that one. And there is a really good game right there, Midnight Raiders, that I love. Some of the classic good ones that he had. Paperboy. He had Paperboy for every system pretty much. Through the Master System games, and he had Pro Wrestling, and then he had Afterburner. I was looking for a couple other ones, but I didn't see anything in there. So I moved to the next one, and then I looked in the Genesis. I didn't see anything that I wanted from the Genesis section, even though there was Paperboy again, like I said. And then you move again to the left, and there is Dreamcast. Like I said, it was definitely a collector, and there's a whole bunch of Saturn right there. And Dreamcast, there is the original cases, and somebody who went and made their own cases. And then there's U-Force, and right below that is PlayStation 1. I looked through the PlayStation 1, saw a couple maybes, and one that I definitely wanted. So I kept looking through. He had a good stack. And there was not very many that I wanted, but I picked up a couple just to have. Because there's a lot of people in the store, and I didn't want them to take them, and I wanted to look through them first. And there was a few PSP over here. There was a few PSPs in the actual front case. So these ones were the ones that were sealed. I guess all the PSP games that were sealed he wanted on the side, so he didn't have to worry about them. And then you go down, and then there's PlayStation 2. I looked through the PlayStation 2, didn't see any titles that I wanted, so I let that go. And then there's the systems on the side over here. He actually had a boxed Jaguar controller. I was really shocked to see that. When you move up, there is Atari 2600, 5200, and 7800. They're all mixed in together, so you have to just look through the whole stacks. And then there's ColecoVision and Television mixed in also. So it's just, he threw everything that was older into one spot, and then you just have to rummage through them. I saw a couple titles that were maybes, so I just pulled them aside. There was E.T. E.T. Everybody always has E.T. on that one. And then you look to the other side, all the way to the far end, and there is a bunch of manuals, a bunch of strategy guides, and systems. He had a ton of systems, and there was a guy on the right-hand side, right in the middle right here, that he was actually fixing systems. And then when you look to the bottom of the back wall, there is a bunch of GameCube, original Xbox, there is a bunch of Xbox 360, boxed systems for the Xbox 360. There's boxed headsets for the original Xbox and Xbox 360. I just glimpsed through all of the original Xbox because there's very few titles that I want, and I always take a look to see if they have them, but like I said, they don't really, they're rare or they're a little bit hard to find. So they had a good selection of original Xbox. And then you look down, and then there's Wii, GameCube, and there is a bunch of loose cases that I saw in the back. So they do sell just cases if you want to buy some cases from them. And then you keep looking up, and then there was some Xbox 360s and some limited editions, some steelbooks. So I looked through the limited editions and some steelbooks, nothing that I wanted from that one. There was a couple Halo Wars, and then there was a Final Fantasy and a Black Ops 2. Yeah, I didn't really want Black Ops 2 right now, and it was for PlayStation 3. And then you looked up top, and there was some original Xboxes with some controllers. And this is where you could try out the games if you want to. They actually had a sit down where you could just take a look. And in the middle was a ton of stuff. There was 3DOs, there was CDIs, there was a whole bunch of just like loose like accessories, and then in the front and the top part there was PlayStation 2 all over. And then you look to the side, this guy has a ton of stuff. That's why it takes a while. It takes like a whole day to look through everything. They have PlayStation 2, Xbox Original, and they have a whole bunch of other random games. And then there's Crimson Skies again. I keep finding that game all over the place now that I hear the announcement that they're going to do original Xbox. And then the front case is all the rare or expensive titles. And then the loose titles up top are the fillers that everybody wants to buy that only want to pay a couple bucks for. And I kept looking through. Nothing was there that I wanted, so I kept moving along. Oh, there's Mortal Kombat. I always find Mortal Kombat. And then there was Aladdin. I moved on, and I did pick up Time Crisis 3 with the complete set. It was a little gunky on the wires, so I had to clean that up. But everything was there. All of the female to male connector, everything was there. And the gun was in working condition. So the case and the game looked really beautiful, and all the box wasn't that much damage. So because I do want Time Crisis and I want all of them, but I don't want to buy all of them right now because I loved the game. I used to play it all the time in the arcade. And I did pick up the complete set because he didn't have any of the loose wires for the yellow cable right there. And that's the one you need to be able to have it function in a TV. Otherwise, you have to make your own like splitter and everything like that. And then I did pick up the original Time Crisis for PlayStation because I wanted the first one, and I like 3, but I couldn't find 2 complete. And then I picked up PlayStation 2. I got Duel Masters. That one was complete. I haven't seen Duel Masters forever, and I wanted a couple other ones, like I wanted Beyblades, but I wanted to pick up those 2 first. And the only 2 Atari games that I got were Mario Brothers. This one has a problem with the label. I'm going to have to glue that, so that one will be together for a while. And then I had Donkey Kong Jr. on the mix. That one, the label is good. I just had to clean up the cartridge a little bit. The pins were a little bit dirty. But yeah, guys, that is all that I picked up. Thank you for watching. If you're new, please subscribe. And as always, keep on gaming. Bye, everybody. See you later.